Call of Duty Black Ops 2. This is a very underrated game to many people. The multiplayer was arguably the last good version of Call of Duty multiplayer, and I have spent hundreds of hours over the years on Black Ops 2 Zombies, but the campaign was perhaps the most memorable aspect. Branching storylines, multiple endings, side missions, and wait, is that create a class? I like the sound of this, boys and girls. Can we beat Call of Duty Black Ops 2 using only handguns? Let's find out today. Create a class. This gives us one hell of an advantage for this kind of a challenge. My setup for the missions would end up being the TAC-45 with extended magazine, reflex sight, and long barrel, as well as an executioner with a long barrel, fast mag, and laser sight, flash and concussion grenades, as well as the perks FMJ, ammo pickup, and fast mag, at least for the start of this run. After watching some dude fail at cooking a marshmallow, we fight past a horde of pre-industrial swarm attackers, and then tragedy strikes. We have to use air support to kill 2 tanks. Well, my 200 IQ play was actually wrong here, as you simply have to enter the air support screen to forward the game and not actually kill anything. So now I can go ahead and explain the rules of this run. I have to try and beat every mission of the game using only handguns. Non-lethal equipment is perfectly fine. I'm also not counting this machete kill since it was a cutscene and not even a quick time event, so it's my challenge. Clearing the boat is easy, killing the helicopter is not. But looking at this particular cutscene, it seems as though the pilot chose to fly himself into a building, and that is not something that I am 100% necessarily responsible for. So, since this is my challenge, I am calling this mission questionable, and you can go complain in the comments if you like. The rest of this mission is pretty vanilla Call of Duty. Also, where exactly did Woods get this gun from? Also, I switched to the access kit for the second mission and beyond because it does sometimes give us some useful items. After a section showing off some future tech, we fight towards some kind of secret science base. The handguns are honestly more than sufficient for much of this game. Once inside, we gain access to a non-lethal cloaking suit. The game looks closer to VR when you wear the suit, and seriously, this gun is just like hanging out there waiting for the controller to desync from you or something. And the rest of the mission is really done with no real issues, our first total success of this challenge run. Now, we know this game is fictional. America and China working together to defeat Russia, that's completely unrealistic. Unfortunately, the run officially fails here. You have to destroy these armored vehicles to progress, and a handgun just doesn't quite cut it. So no, you can't beat Call of Duty Black Ops 2 using only a handgun, not like I'm exactly surprised at this point. After being forced to kill another tank, we encounter none other than Kravchenko. Somehow both him and Woods survived that grenade blast in the first game. A successful interrogation sets us on the path towards the best ending, my secondary goal for this entire series. During the fourth mission of the game, we pick up the Spaz-12 and are expected to go on a murderous rampage, except you don't actually have to do that and you don't actually have to kill anyone. Who would have known? Whoever suggested this particular combination for the Executioner, you sir or ma'am definitely made this run easier for me, so thank you very much for this. The access kit grants us some completely useless mortars. We then attempt to snipe with the TAC-45 a bit, clear the burning basement out, get a CIA dossier, and successfully clear another mission. Our fifth mission starts largely the same as the previous one in terms of this particular challenge. After managing to die in the stealth section, things go very wrong on the rooftops. These 2 soldiers have to be killed in stealth. You can't run past them, and using a suppressed weapon makes no difference. How unfortunate. We complete the Follow Menendez section. This guy may or may not have died. I let the drones get destroyed. I probably committed multiple acts of vehicular manslaughter, so what at this point? I then saved Harper's beautiful face, and this mission was not even remotely successful. Now we get to something that's just a little bit different, Strikeforce Missions. These missions are entirely optional and feature no class customization. They instead allow you to set up defenses and jump between the perspectives of a bunch of different soldiers and vehicles. I decided on a slightly different set of rules for these types of missions. I will still try to focus on using handguns, but if that doesn't seem to be possible, I have to beat the mission in tactical view only. The first Strikeforce mission, FOB Spectre, is pretty easy. It's pretty much a tutorial mission, let's keep moving, total success. The second Strikeforce mission is called Shipwreck, and it's largely the same way. You do have to launch a missile at the cargo ship at the end, but technically it's done in tactical view, and given that these missions are optional to begin with, I think that this is okay. Failing these missions doesn't stop the game from moving forward, so I'm not going to complain here. So with that, we conclude our first of 2 streams, with 4 of the first 7 missions being completely successful. 1 is a bit questionable, and the other 2 are complete failures. A much better start than any of my other non-Modern Warfare runs, though I was honestly kind of hoping for better. The second stream begins with the third Strikeforce mission known as IED. This one is a bit tricky because there are no soldiers to control, so I had to do it entirely in tactical view. Despite only 1 or 2 vehicles just barely surviving, we actually do clear the mission successfully. Now we return to the main story with a very long walking sequence in this mission called Karma. The mission features the infamous Ziggy sequence. My fellow trophy hunters know exactly what I'm talking about with this painful memory. This ends with the presumably non-lethal tasering of a random guard. Our first battle is pretty easy. The Executioner continues to do its job. Kelsey Ballerini actually has a song about this scene. More pistol fun time ensues, and thus begins the end of the mission with a chase sequence. There are quite a few enemies here, but we successfully kill DeFalco and save Chloe. But what happens if you manage to let them escape instead? Enter the Strikeforce mission, Second Chance. It's really easy. Just find Chloe, get out. There are limited enemies, there are plenty of handguns, let's move on, nothing more to say about this one. And now we get started on the final flashback mission. It starts with a mandatory knife throw that may or may not have killed someone with a chest hit while they were wearing body armor. Clearing the airfield is pretty straightforward. Noriega is found. He actually counts as a friendly, as I found out. And the majority of this mission presents no new challenges. Next, we are told to assassinate Menendez. Thankfully, the game has a built-in out to this sequence, as you can choose to shoot the target twice anywhere but the head to forward the game. With that, I'm calling this mission questionable because, in my opinion, that whole throwing knife kill bit should not have been a kill given that the enemy had body armor, but that's just me. And now we tackle the final Strikeforce mission. This one can be a bit tricky. You have to plant a device. It's a whole big threat. There's lots of sentry guns, there's drones, there's other enemies, etc. But ultimately, camping under a sentry gun was enough to get me through this last objective and clear all 5 Strikeforce missions using only handguns and tactical view. Being undercover with Menendez is pretty easy to do handgun only. Harper cheated on Mai, as in Farid's wife, and the rest of the mission goes by quickly and successfully. Odysseus is a pretty important mission that plays a huge role in determining the ending of the game. Once again though, the Executioner does a fantastic job of separating body parts. Who needs professional doctors when you have this particular gun in your possession? Thankfully, I am able to confirm that we are still on track for the best possible ending with this long cutscene that might or might not be sped up. Salazar gets arrested, we gain access to some useless drones, we make our escape, China saves the day, and we actually have another successful mission. The penultimate mission, Cortes Dia, starts with a mandatory turret type section, and unfortunately you do have to destroy at least a few drones in order to avoid dying here. I tried. While you were supposed to destroy this claw vehicle to advance, you can actually just run past it into the building. However, you can't sprint past the second and third ones or you die, so they do have to be destroyed. How unfortunate. And then we get to a mandatory vehicle section. Don't get me wrong, this section is a lot of fun, this whole mission is a lot of fun, but unfortunately, the vehicle sections cannot be cleared without getting at least a few kills. Certainly not our best mission so far. But with that, we can head on to the final mission of the game. It's actually pretty straightforward and pretty easy to do using only our pair of handguns. Menendez hacks the PlayStation Network, we kill a few more groups of enemies, we capture Menendez, and with that we did not complete Call of Duty Black Ops 2 using only handguns. So in the end, 11 of the 16 missions in Black Ops 2 are completely doable under challenge conditions. 3 missions are completely impossible, and 2 are questionable, but they're probably more likely failures. This gives us a success rate of at least 68.75% that could theoretically be as high as 81.25%. So far, this is the most successful Call of Duty handgun challenge run, which is a bit surprising, but ultimately it still wasn't quite possible to beat an entire game using only handguns. I'm not necessarily surprised, and I am definitely glad that this one was fairly successful. Also, we ended up with the best ending in the game, which is going to be playing over the credits here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already, and I will see you for my next challenge run. It's all downhill from here in the world of Call of Duty.